my trillion and that's
Good morning. Tapping in with everybody. Today I'm gonna come to y'all just in a regular way like how I used to, because I've been thinking for the last couple of days really to reconnect with everybody. And also to just get my breakdown and my opinions, because I had a couple people I talked to. And I feel like it's very important for me to break down what I've seen. I think in this last year, y'all ain't seen me a lot. And hold on, let me make sure. I gotta make sure Instagram is on. Unfortunately, hold on. Here we go. 2, 1. All right, we good. But yeah, good morning. You know, this morning there's a couple things I want to talk about, right? A couple things that's been sitting on me. Because I know it's been a minute. So one of the things I want to do outside the podcast is really reconnect with the people that I always talk to, right? And just to let you know, because I realize that when I talk to people or people reach out or I bump into people, they always say to me like, hey, bro, like, what's up? What happened to the convos? And you know what I'm saying? Like, why you stop the convos? Like, we like that you starting to do the podcast, but what about the personal conversations? And I think it's very important because, like I said, even though I've been missing, I still been having the conversations. They just was more personal, all right? So it's a couple things that I really want to speak on and talk about today that been sitting on me in the last year, just watching everything, right? So one, during the whole election, and I'm gonna start with the election. During the whole election, I was quiet. Now I seen a lot of posts during the election where people felt like with Kamala and all these situations, like I heard people like being out. I heard a lot like people saying, and I just kind of listen to people, and like a couple people told me like, yo, you know what? You know why you should vote for Kamala? Just because you black. And I'm thinking to myself, what type of ignorant, stupid is this? Like, think about it. Like, just because she black, right? And then at the same time, when we dealing with it, it's like having conversations with people on both sides of the table. And no matter who you vote for, they all full of shit. No matter how you go about it, right? So I was watching during the election. I was watching what was important. You know what I'm saying? I was watching the integrity and the energy of men and women. And our culture and beyond, right? Hold on, y'all, real quick. And what was the most important thing that I noticed? Hold on, you guys, my fault. I had to answer this, y'all. Give me one quick second. All right, so, but I wanted to know the integrity of the people and what they was talking about. And I heard more shit. I watched the division show. So I was sitting there and the whole time I was like, yeah, when I go back live, I'm gonna chop this shit up. So I watched the whole time. I watched black women and black men divide through the middle of this whole election on average. I watched, and I'm gonna be blunt, because I had a lot of conversation with the elderly, men, women, everybody. I watched, and I'm pretty sure we all watched the natural division, and it started making me ask myself, because I had so many conversations and respect, and I had a group of women that told me, well, you need to shut up and be quiet, because don't be intimidated because a woman, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking like, but that wasn't my point though. And I've never been here to discredit, but a lot of my pushback through the years came from the fact that I was willing to speak when most men be quiet, right? And that was the thing. And so I started getting mad at my brothers who, and not just black people, but men. I started getting mad at men in general because we allowed it to go this far when it came down to, you see how we be looked at because of the stupid shit and the bad choices that men make. And now it's this universal or nationwide conception that because you're a black man, you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? On many levels, right? So I watched during this election where it was like when this shit started really not getting up under my skin, but I said, yo, I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna see how this play out before I have my conversation. So one, before we get in this conversation, can't nobody say nothing because I kept my opinion to myself from the public view from the beginning until it was over. You feel me? So I'm gonna keep it 1,000 about all of this, right? Because I watched you niggas sit here, and half of y'all need to be real because everybody was running their mouth, and y'all sorry asses went and took your ass to vote and hit Trump. Right? Now I'm not knocking you because I didn't care for either candidate. At this point, at what point in America do we realize, like, man, they playing with us, bro? Like, you can't be serious. You got Donald Trump and her. Are they serious? And then early on, I said, yo, you don't see Michelle and Obama endorsing her. They only started, and they was like, bro, yes, they do. Yes, but yeah, that's after she was nominated, though. We never seen before that. We never seen them chilling together was my point, and they didn't. They're all Democrats. So they want the Democrats to run the House in every election. They want to have more Democrats than Republicans, just like the Republicans want to do the same thing. So they work together. They're all gonna push the ticket because they want you to. This is the crazy part about how psychologically fucked they got us. People came to my house and asked me about them. I kept it funky. Like, what you think? I said, honestly, I don't really like either candidate completely because I don't trust her. You know what I'm saying? We didn't trust her. Like anybody who's educated, we didn't trust her because when she came into office, let's say she had 50 policies that she was for. By the time you got to the debates, Trump was like, so you done flip-flop. So now over half of the stuff you was against, you're for now. But the reason why she was for it, and that's why people seen through it, because the only way you in the fracking is because you're going to get pushback. You're going to make hundreds of thousands and a couple million off of it. They're going to make hundreds of millions off of it. It's going to destroy the economy. So that's why I didn't trust her. As a woman, when you talk about as a black woman, that's supposed to care about nature and life if you in tune. Right? But you're going to agree with fracking and bring it to Philadelphia, knowing that fracking, if you're familiar with fracking, I'll show you on a Convo. Like I'll probably do one this evening, like a podcast or one of the podcasts tonight. And I'll show y'all what happened when they did fracking in Flint, Michigan. And when they cut their water faucets on, they can light it on fire. Right? That's how toxic the water is going to leak the lymphoma and all these cancers. So people can't even drink the water out there in certain parts of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it does. Right? So that was one. So I automatically knew when she started talking about, yeah, fracking will bring money. I'm like, what? You a crook. You a crook. Another thing. It made me sick to my stomach when she did that fucking campaign when she was when basically if she went to get something to eat and she wanted some chicken, if this was everyday shit, we ain't taking no pictures of me eating no chicken because real niggas, blacks, excuse me, as we call ourselves, the real African Americans. If we running for office, we don't even care that you see us in the soul food spot. Because 9 times out of 10, we ain't even supposed to be in the soul food spot at 4850. We supposed to be trying to take care of our health so we ain't got diabetes, sugar, and shit. So damn well we not going to use it as a campaign so our wife or our family can be like, what you was doing in there? And yeah, I know I ain't lying about this shit. But when I knew that she was a fraud, was after I learned about her court cases and the men dying in prison and she wrongfully convicted them. Once I learned about that her mother was from India, right? And her father is what they say, a black man. We still don't know who the fuck her father is. How could you be a president-elect, right? Like meaning that's great marketing right there. Why they ain't do no special on her father who's supposed to be a teacher or educator? Do she have a relationship with her daddy? We still don't know these questions. But I watch you sorry ass niggas. I watch a lot of you selfish ass women. Only thing y'all cared or gave a fuck about was putting her in office as a woman. Now I got two, and I want y'all to stick with me because I got two sides to this conversation. It ain't all negative. But I'm gonna be blunt. So they show her eating some soul food or something, and then that went viral. And you wonder why they think we fucking stupid. And at this point, I'm starting to think we fucking stupid. Literally. You ain't got to do nothing to get the black vote. Cut some checks is what Donald Trump showed you. The other end, the last 8 months of the presidency, Joe Biden and his Alzheimer's, he was at this They was talking to him and he was having whole other conversations. Biden, like, it wore him out. So the last like 8 months of the presidency, Kamala was the president. And she traveled looking, smiling. And then the shit that made me sick in my stomach, she was talking in a masculine tone. Like not like this, like, you know, like she sound like Obama to me. Like, see, I pay attention. I'm like, yo, is Michelle Obama writing her speeches? When she speaks like she's Obama. You feel me? And that's what it was that. Like, not that I'm saying I'm saying her tone, like how she went about it, her tone. And when you go to the, it was like everything, her mannerisms, I could not knocking her, but I could tell she had studied Barack. Because of how she went about everything, right? But I seen fraud in this woman. And I seen fraud in her while people online, people I know was mad at me. So I got quiet. But I'm a dig in that ass today. Right? Fraud. The fact that you would use a campaign to market just to get black people to fuck with you and our dumbasses fell for it. Fraud. We had the situation at the border. The Hispanics, those are our brothers and sisters if you know our history. Literally. They said, you never went to the border. She was almost 4 years, said, I never went to the border. Now, on the side of what Kamala's saying, I get it, but it's two sides. She was like, but I never even been to Europe. Let me tell you what she meant by that for all my niggas who've been watching me for all these years and all my people that watch me for all that's not black. We were enslaved by Europe. My goal when I was studying what led me to the convos, I wanted to know how we became slaves. And then I found it through years of study, the track of how we lost the war, right? So we are, whether we like it or not, when on Easter, when the stars in the east, all our tax money go to the queen. That's why we always in debt, right? So we were conquered by Europe. That's why, like, think about it. We live in America. What the fuck do we give a fuck about the parades and all that shit in Europe for? Why are they broadcasting this shit on TV every year? That's not our queen. That's the queen of fucking Europe. Because we are, the territory was conquered by Europe. We are, America is a even though Europe is small, America is the muscle of Europe. That's why that's why we go and get involved in the wars with certain countries and all of them, because you feel me? But she said, I never been to Europe, saying like shit. It's like she's saying like, it was kind of gangsters, like she was saying like, I ain't seen them that conquered us either. What is you bothering me for? So I was like, okay, she got a little grit in her. Like, it's some things I seen about Kamala that I was like, okay, she got it. She might not be there yet, but she got some things. But it's fraud that she came right now on her time. And I'm not saying they didn't push out, but it's a couple things that I didn't agree with what they did to women in this election, the message at the end. So that's why I say bear with me. Because it's not all harsh, but we're going to talk about this. Because where I'm going at the end of this, even women, you're going to feel me about how they disrespected y'all and discredit y'all. Because I'm not about that. I'm not here to say a woman don't deserve to be president. We done had everything else. Why not? Right? So that's not my point. We just talking about Kamala herself. Right? Fraud. I never been to Europe. That was gangsters. Like, I never even went and seen the queen. But when I start looking at people spiritually, I'll be like, yo, fraud. Why didn't you go to the border? Why don't you tell the people the truth? See, sometimes this is when I know that people are not who they say they are, and that don't mean us well. If I was Kamala, I put this together myself. I would have got on national TV and I would have said, listen, my mother's an immigrant. She from India. I would have melted the heart of the public. My mother's an immigrant. And when I was a little girl, I watched all she went through to get her citizenship and her visa. So yeah, I ain't go to the border because I was one of them kids. Right? So yeah, y'all think I didn't go, but I actually let them come in and I didn't oppress them the way Ronald Reagan or George Bush did my mother. It made it damn near impossible for me. We left there because of what was going on over there. She could have spoke. My mother's from an immigrant. And she came over from a third world country. I'm her little girl. When you look at old pictures of Kamala, you see her dressed up as India. That's what I say. What do you call people in India? Indians. So that's where the Indians are. Let's get that understanding. So when she say her mother's an Indian, she's from India. That doesn't make her no less. Those still our people. But she does not identify with the black woman. How can she identify if she don't identify with the black man? We know that because look at her dating history, who she dates. And then she dates. You see her running mate? See, in my opinion, her running mate, if you do your, it was some weird, he had weird energy. Yo, that shit was weird as, man, y'all don't be looking. That's how I be like, yo, I was quiet during the election. And then these sorry motherfuckers had the nerve. This is when I said when the election over, I'm going to blast they shit. They started doing a campaign saying if you don't vote, you know that it's public record that if you don't vote and everybody gonna be able to see it. You sorry motherfuckers, who the fuck are y'all if we don't want to vote in a system that our votes don't count anyway? I'm not even going into these. Who are you to try to embarrass the people that don't vote or the educated people? Who are you? This is America. Voting is supposed to be a choice. Right? This is supposed to be a choice. This shit ain't supposed to be no other shit. Let me move this. This is a choice. But you gonna shame me though. And I said, bet when the election over, I'm gonna expose their ass. Historically. When the presidents got picked from the beginning, when Joe Washington said I was appointed like the 7th president of America in his book, it wasn't until like late 1800s, 1880, 1890, early 1900s when the people wanted to be involved. So they created a new system where the people could feel like they was involved. We not the electoral college. Right? The electoral college. But you gonna try to shame us. You know our votes don't count. Because if our votes counted, Kamala technically wouldn't have lost like that. You can't convince me. Then another thing. And then we talk about Trump. People say, man, Trump, da. Yo, regardless of what you think about Trump, he a felon. So if I'm president of felon, all my niggas who was selling and thugging and gangbanging, shit, you could be a president, my nigga. This is what he showed you. Really, he set a new precedent. And then you also have to understand why what he did in our lifetime is crazy. Yo, we got more assassinations on presidents of America by our own people than any other nation. Do you know that the White House was burnt down multiple times by our own people? That what they did, the insurrection, it's happened before. See, when you know history, you'll understand the moves that they make in checkmate, and they trying to get everybody on the court. But this whole shit was fraud, and we so caught up. Look, don't you understand that they're gonna use whatever candidate they can to push whatever they want to push? Nobody is here to free you. Nobody. That is from you or yourself, right? I sat for the last 8-9 months every day with an elder to build with, not just off of knowledge and understanding, but to actually sit and run everything by a brilliant elderly woman and just asking her, like, outside of knowledge and information, there's a certain amount of knowledge and information that's encoded inside of the woman that you can't get from a book if she's tapped in. And for her tapped in, she ain't even got to be super tapped in. She just got to be in tune with herself. And so I used to say, what you think? And she like, I don't trust her. Why you don't trust her? She was like, the whole time she had these last 8-9 months in office. And she on, why she could have just did things. You know, like I hate to say it, you know, black folks like money. Just cut them a stimulus check. They would have, like, I'm just saying, not just black folks, but cut the world. Trump cut the world a stimulus check. It didn't matter if he was rich or poor. And then we got to ask ourselves, the PPP loan that Trump put out, as soon as the Democrats got in office, they started going after everybody with the PPP. Now, granted, it was a lot of fraud. But see, this is what I was saying from the beginning. See, people don't listen. Hey, yo, Willie, you want to get the PPP? Hey, bro, you want to get a PPP? Fuck I look like. Because let me tell you why I did. I'm not knocking y'all, but I'm speaking for me. I got companies I built from the ground up grinding, right? And it's a different type of understanding when you had to sacrifice your bread to do it. But it's nothing less inside of you, because shit, if I could get a loan right now to start another company, and I know it's possible, I would do it. So I ain't knocking y'all hustle who did it. But if you did it in any fraudulent intent, they coming. See, I looked at every door Trump opened, the Democrats closed it. I've already shown, for the people that watch me all the time, which I'm gonna bring it on the podcast, the history of the elections. Who the Republicans and how they were black people. And the Democrats, the Dixiecrats was others, right? We still caught up. Look, we got Obama in office, and I still fucked up over the Obama election because I'm still trying to figure out why the first black man had to pass all the gay rights. Respectfully. Can you fix some shit for the straight niggas first? Too? Shit, I ain't against them. Everybody got the right to love who the fuck they want to love, but it has been certain things is a violation, and I always spoke my mind on that, but not in disrespect. I got family members, I got friends, you know what I'm saying, homegirls who gay and shit, you know what I'm saying? People, we all know people, cousins, siblings, you know what I'm saying? My conversations, I ain't never trying to be offensive about your sexuality. But the way that this shit was all orchestrated the last couple of years, being pushed on niggas, being pushed on the world, I'm looking at the effect it's having on the youth. They don't even know how to listen. They don't even know how to make love. They don't even know how to date, yo. Their idea of this shit is like, life is fun and games and like, and just being dangerous and shit. They got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got all of the worst examples of this generation. And we failed them. A lot of us, you know what I'm saying? I say we because we failed them and shit. And that's why I was getting in all them arguments. I didn't understand my first years, and when the convo got jumping, I didn't understand what it came with. And that's one of the reasons why I had backed off for a second, because it became emotionally heavy for me. Because it got to the point where people I grew up with and people I knew personally, motherfuckers I got love for, people that I really love, was at my neck a little bit about things I said, but I had to realize that in the business of doing exorcisms, fuck it. Right? While I'm talking this shit, some shit I might say to somebody who dead close to me, it might relate to you. It might hurt your feelings a little bit. But but this is the thing I tell people, I'm not even aware of that with you. Or I'm not even talking about this. But I've heard it a lot of time, like, bro, like that shit you said, bro, da 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 da. And I'm one of them people like, yo, I didn't even know that. But at the same time, like, the truth hurt like a lie. And that's the issue that I had to realize, like, yo, right now, what's the energy? Let's talk about it. What's the energy? 2024. It's about over. What was the energy that I was reading this year? If I could be honest, you know what I was thinking? Like, it was a clearing the house, right? At this point, you got to know who's there for you and who was there for them. So it's a lot of people. I want you to remember, and I want to have this conversation. When it comes down to, I want to talk about, I want to say it clear. How we have to let our friends and our family and our business partners, how we have to let them go to see the world. All right? Because I was having a lot of deep conversations about this with a few people lately. And everybody kind of, a few of my homeboys hit me up, and my homegirl hit me up and talked about it. It's like, because it was something I tapped on before, and I was just trying to explain, like, it's a natural process in this shit. The more you grow and become more of your own and really building your own empires and your businesses, you're going to have to let people go, like, as much as we don't want to, because, like, really, a lot of us be trying to help. But what ends up happening is that help turns into, like, people want to believe that their success is by themselves. You know what I mean? They come and get whatever they need. They get all the help they need in the world. But when the lights on and when the shine come, you learn a lot about a person. If they be like, yeah, man, shout out my man who always there, da 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 da, or if they always they don't want people to know that, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna take all the residual reward instead of realizing what it really took. So artists, children, everybody, they like kids, business partner, sibling, they're like kids. So sometimes when, like, I like the studio. Cause my homeboy said, yo, you spoiled niggas in the studio, bro. But the studio was always around, and I always was a dreamer, so I always just wanted to help everybody who had the goals get to their dreams. At the same time, we don't realize that we're spoiling them. And we doing stuff that we might not realize that we as they call it, we are enabling their bad behaviors and their entitlement. We created it. Because once they got to the point where they knew I could do this and that, like, that's my man, da-da-da, you feel me? That's where we wrong. And Denzel said, stop being so selfish and helping others and because of the gratification you get from helping, whether that's your intent or not, let them earn it. So that's why I used to be online talking reckless on the morning time. They ain't fucking with me, da-da-da-da. Why? Because I know deep down inside that people, rap niggas, all of these, they not working that hard. You know what I mean? So all of our friends and everybody that you want to help and you trying to help mold and push, you have to let their hand go, right? So because once you will hurt yourself by not letting their hand go. And I'm telling you from experience, because when you let your hand go, sometimes and it's hurtful, it's frustrating because you want the best from your friends, your lady, your kids. You want the best for all of these people. You don't want them to go through the hard way, but we forget that in turmoil, nature, the only way nature can teach is through pain. That's natural. Through turmoil and hurt, through pain. The animal learns through pain. Bad choices end up in pain or hurt or death. That's a true teacher. So that's why when I look at everything and about how we dealing with our friends, how we dealing with the people around us, what we doing, we fucked up. We fucked up, right? So one, if I got to deal with a youth for anywhere from 15 to 22, his mindset crazy because a lot of people stop raising these babies. So you got to remember, before they got to you, they was somebody's baby. And we know today that the black community at an all-time low at disciplining their kids, right? And we and I'm not saying I be on a different time, but I'm still a part of the generation. We made the choice of the generation. Yo, I ain't gonna beat my kids when I get older. Yo, like Shahrazad Ali said the other day, and it stuck with me every day. She said, I come from the system that worked. Fuck what you think about grandmama, black woman. You thought she was weak, but their system worked. Fuck what you think, black man, about grandfather. Or because it was the young girls who was our mamas today, who my generation was 50, 60, that like grandmama was weak. See like that, right? Grandmama was strong. But you seen weakness. And you had your right. But you misjudged it because even though they was going through that, the children of the 50s, 60s, 70s were better human beings. Right? We got all this fucking technology. And we still ain't caught Malcolm and Martin yet. All this fucking technology, we ain't about shit. That's why I got quiet for a minute. We ain't about this shit. We in the age of the woke fake motherfucker. We woke for likes and clicks. Why you think it took me so long to do the podcast? Think about it. Why you think it took me so long to do the podcast? Because it's hard to sit here and say like, yo, I don't be thinking about charging my people to talk to them and have conversations. But that's how fucked up we are. And then when we be having these conversations, another thing I noticed about the convos, when I had a real conversations, niggas tap in and then they tap off. Cause we some weak ass people, right? Like I said on the albums, we frail niggas we starting to look like we come from a civilization of frail people. Niggas weak. You know what I'm saying? I was up on this fucking live doing all of these shit for all these years, and the arguments that I got into with people over shit at the end of the day. If you think I'm a spiritual, righteous man and you like it, at the end of the day, I still got my aggression because I understand how to talk to the youth and the people. Because people say, bro, why you doing like that? Because we ain't got time. I ain't got the time. We don't have time. Right? So like, yo, it's how you deliver. Look, baby girl, I can't deliver this shit all the time to you the way you want me to deliver it to you because we ain't got time. We ain't got 100 years. Right? So, and just to jump back a little bit about the Kamala, what was the message before I go forward? What was the message about the Kamala situation when the election was over? That night, when I woke up the next morning, middle of the night, probably like 3, 4 in the morning, I threw an election and she got her ass kicked. I didn't even say nothing. And I felt like, yo, she got it. She should have it. And then Trump win. What does that tell y'all? But y'all was ready to jump. Y'all was ready to put the black man in bondage for a black woman president. That shit had me tight. I watched the energy. I was in them conversations with women like, a couple group of women came to one day and I'm talking to them and they was like, black man, step aside. The revolution would not be televised. And I said, if it was a black man in office and he couldn't change the world, what make you think she gonna do it? And you got all this pride in this woman whose husband don't even look like you. Y'all some selfish ass people. I don't care how y'all feel about what I'm saying as women. I felt disrespected to be a black man during this shit. And most of us did. But a lot of us was quiet. We knew deep down inside that y'all sell us the fuck out for some power. That's how we felt. And now y'all quiet. No, apologize to us. When y'all selfish as women. When Obama was in office, y'all wouldn't have voted for that man just because he was a black man if his wife was white. Y'all wouldn't have. Y'all tell me, man, bullshit. Y'all love the fact that when y'all seen Obama walk, that y'all seen Michelle Obama with her hair down and doobied up, looking like a real black woman. Y'all loved it. Y'all seen a representation of yourself. Y'all give a fuck of how we felt. Y'all was telling us to shut up and get out the way. And I watched this shit in disgust. And out of, this is the universe. Spiritually, y'all got to get it together. Because if y'all don't have no respect for us, the world watching. The world's watching. The world trusted Obama because they're like, he got a black wife, he got a black daughter, like, right? Everything about Obama, you can take that picture in 2,000 years and put it up and say, yo, this the holy, this Mary, look, this Mary and Jesus and their children. You feel me? Like, this the holy picture. And you can live by, you see Barack, you can boop, 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 and you see the kids. Ain't no question. That's what I was talking about. Spiritually, we fucked up. We some trifling ass people in our ways. Feel me? 50 to 30, we ain't grow up. We ain't never really grow up. I ain't talking about the music and the hobbies, and that's not growing up. That's your passion. That's your gift, right? I told you I read a book in film school that said the art of play, and said when we put our toys away, we become psychotic. They said when you become grown, you put your toys away. When I'm man, I put my toys away. That nigga was an idiot, respectfully. Because if he only really knew that when you put your toys away, that's when depression comes. Toys, video games, whatever the case, girls still playing, women playing with Barbie dolls with their daughters, a sense of utopia. But my point is, before I move forward with the Kamala, is that on a sadder level, the country showed y'all still ain't there, even though y'all are. I never said that wasn't qualified to run the country. But at the end of the day, y'all was willing to cut our fucking throat for it, right? And I know y'all don't like this conversation, but it's true. Y'all was willing to cut our throat for it. And didn't care. I had this conversation with thousands of people. And every time I talk to men, they be like, I can't believe that shit. They don't give a fuck about us, how we feel. They don't care if they never cared. And I'm speaking general. I don't care how people feel. Listen, y'all did not care as women as a whole. I'm talking about the mass. Y'all didn't care that we didn't see ourselves. Y'all only cared to see yourself as growth. And nobody can argue that point. Y'all can feel free to write on the feed if y'all want. But you can't argue that point. For growth, we've seen it the last 10 years as men. For growth in corporate structure, for growth in finances, you will destroy your family today. Like the old Muslim man said, that the reason why y'all judge us in Iraq for our women not working and da-da-da-da. He said, but y'all women, when your woman has a job and she works and she gets her own money, spiritually, she depends on her employer, whoever's giving her the bag or however she's getting it. That's her God. That's her lover. That's her husband. Is that because they were saying that in their history, women ruled, and when women were the most educated, it was the most destructive time in their culture. But that's to show you historically, there's nothing worse than a woman's wrath. That's when they were ruling empires. She get mad, her husband get taken by another queen, she killed a whole fucking empire, including the children. A woman scorned. But it was more important that can't nobody lie, can't nobody, you can get mad at me, but it's true. We know that for the growth, because y'all saying like, okay, the black woman growing now. Oh, it's our time. Fuck these niggas. Fuck these men. Selfish. Selfish. Overall, and I'm gonna speak as a black man to my women, y'all become very lesbianistic in y'all mentality, because y'all don't need a man. So what you need? I'm tired of conversations with women who done told me, oh, I can do everything a man can do. I mean, on some levels, yes. And on other levels, no. Right? There's no conversation I've had with any men that's like, bro, I've never argued with a man ever. Like, I could do what a woman could do, bro. Because we know we can't carry no babies. We thinking on different levels than y'all. You know what I'm saying? We know we can't do so. Some of us don't even want to deal with the kids. Like, I didn't mind, but like some men, they can't even deal with the emotionals and all of the shit that, you know what I mean? But I've never heard a man in an argument say, bro, I could do what my woman could do, bro. But I hear women like, you know what I'm saying? I can do it. Like, don't y'all get it? Oh, y'all make them proud as black women in America, because y'all kept this shit going since slavery. Must I remind you, when we got raped and y'all didn't protect us, we got more than you did. Historically, they came over from a country that the men were historically gay. They was raping more men than women. That's the hidden side of slavery. They were eating more slaves than they was hanging them. That's the hidden side of slavery. You forgot. You didn't get this mindset because that's what nature gave you. We got all these excuses in the world as black people. As people, not just black, because this is a universal problem, especially in America, should I say. What's the problem? Oh, that's why we fucked up. I don't never hear Hispanic women on Facebook talking about something. We don't need no Hispanic man. I don't even hear white women online talking about something. I don't need no man. And y'all want to talk like y'all got y'all shit together. Baddies. All the bad girl clothes. I just started watching some of this shit to see what y'all digesting. Y'all think y'all niggas. Y'all get on the shows. What you say? Then they start fighting. Yeah. So that y'all do. That's what started having me like, damn, y'all gonna do anything for fame. Being a thought is what it is today. You do anything for fame. They shooting fades on national TV. They shooting fades for ratings. Now y'all pimping each other. So it's women running the shows, and now they used to get pimped, Jocelyn and them, and now they pimping. And them girls ain't getting no real money off the show. They getting the fame and the look. And if they know how to leverage they look and all of this shit, but the shit trash. And wonder why y'all walk around here and y'all mindset fucked up. I watched this shit. Oh, what we doing is litty. They want to drink. It's litty. Life a party. Grow the fuck up. And wonder why don't nobody want to fuck with you. But see, the problem is that it is niggas that's going to fuck with you. Even if you immature, even if you ain't shit, and even if you fucked up. But how long that shit gonna last? This real conversation, because I had this conversation with a lot of people. When it come down to saying like, yo, your approach, bro, your approach, I say, I'm open-minded, and I've opened my realms when I be speaking. But it's like, damn, do you want me to respect you as an equal, or you want me to talk to you softly like my daughter? Just like as a woman, you should say, do you want me to be real with you like my man, or you want me to treat you like my son? You ain't got no problem with saying that. See, I don't see no women online when they be like, show me a man, all this shit. I don't never see y'all in their feeds like telling them like, oh, don't talk about men like that. Y'all don't even see y'all be getting set up by y'all homegirls. Y'all got a dude, y'all got a nigga, y'all sitting here telling, yo, you changing now. I done seen it. Oh, you always with him. You always doing that. You ain't never around. Yeah. And then if you could try to put shorty on game and she there, you be like, look, yo, your homegirls, you can, look, you want to go out, you can go out. But that's just on you. This shit go left and I find out some shit at the end of the day. Because remember, your homegirl's single. So they're going to put you in an environment of some shit that you probably shouldn't even be in. And to do that shit, set you up, actually kind of know you're going to probably get caught with it just to get you away from your shit. Just so that they can have you to themselves. When you were single, you chill with them every day. When you know what I'm saying, you always been grinding and working. So when you went out to eat, she went out to eat. When you went and got your right? So as women, y'all be spoiling y'all homegirls and all these people around y'all. And then when y'all get a nigga, they be jealous of this shit. Girl, like taking advice from people that shit be crazy as fuck to me. But it's still going on. And in our generation, this shit's still going on with niggas who 50. Drugs, nigga. The drugs in our community, the fuck happened? So that's what we on now. So we just some syrup sipping heroin addict niggas. We just some pill popping heroin addicts. You feel me? We all talk about we smoking gas, nigga. I ain't seen no real tree in 10 years. You feel me? The shit, everything in the world that we see is watered down because niggas take it too far. Y'all have no idea the comments. That's why I've been quiet, because I'm about to kirk off on a lot of niggas. You know, I sit there, people call my phone to be talking to me, and you know I'm an honest nigga, open, no problem. Inspiration, knowledge, whatever we can talk about, I'll build with you. But then sometimes it leads to places because you try to look, but I can't sit on the phone with you for 10 days. Like if you call me about dogs, then we talking about a dog, yo, I'm gonna get a puppy, and puppies come around a couple times, you don't get no puppy, it's cool, but I can't waste that much time with you. You saying you want to do this, and that, I can chop it with you. That's it. I can give you the blueprint, the roadmap, if that's whatever you going, you know what I'm saying, be about. But that's it, because at my age now, I spent 15 years of my life, when people would come to me, I'm so ambitious, they be like, bro, I'm trying to do this. And I would indulge myself in a world to try to help them manifest it while doing what I'm doing. And I would indulge myself like, hey, I always been, hey, bro, you know what, you can do this, let me show you this. But when the shit hit 360, and I watched when my shit was like going to decline, I ain't see hardly nobody like that. But you also learn too that everybody going through life. So if you say, yo, if you take that personal, it's not fair. It's not mature. Because you don't know when your friends was going through their shit and they didn't speak up. Just like you might not realize it, but you going through your shit, but you ain't online, you going through your shit, they don't even know. So that was one of the reasons I was quiet. And I wanted to have a conversation straight up the old-fashioned ways, because y'all should also know, let me say this, y'all should also know I was fighting with Facebook. The show had became so popular to the point like 1,700, 2,000 views at times a day, that just in that aspect, they started stopping me. Like if I wanted to market it, they wouldn't allow me to, like they just blocked it. They would not allow me to like spend any money to market those conversations or to get them to put it everywhere. They wouldn't do it. Secondly, I would go live, they would push me off the live and tell me I'm kicked out. You know what I'm saying? I started getting violations and for no reason. Or I wouldn't be blocked, but I couldn't go live. Or every phone I bought that I would do the convos on, after like a month or two, my microphone inside, it'll fry. So people, you can't hear me. Every phone. That's how I knew that they was fucking with me. And that I was saying too much, I guess. But I always want to address the people and be real with y'all. Like these real life topics, and I'm just rambling right now about all of the things that I was watching. The black family. In 2023 and 2024 was a destructive. Whatever, I don't know what the fuck is going on in the world. But in 2 years, I watched the people who had the strongest bonds separate. What did I learn? I learned that, like psychology say, during turmoil, relationships, whenever the economy's tight and money get tight, a lot of relationships end. Because when money get tight, everybody start playing for self. They're in panic mode, they're in survival mode. And survival mode is the lowest level. If y'all remember what I was talking about called, what's the name of it? Is it called Malo's chart? But it showed you at the bottom is survival. And survival is the bottom instinct minimum. That's what the hood, the black people in the hood, that's survival. And that's survival mode. You living every day just to get a meal and to do this shit. You're going to do a lot of shit you wouldn't do character-wise if you didn't have to. So the first thing they said men have to do is find shelter. Just so you understand what I'm saying. Once he finds shelter, then, well, first thing he has to do is find food. Once he finds food consistently, then he thinks about shelter. Once he got food and shelter, then he thinks about love. Once they got food, shelter, and love, then they think about knowledge, information, shit like that. You see, you can't be a nigga in survival mode completely and still get the knowledge unless you focus. Because most people in survival mode, you can only think about surviving. You don't got time to sit and study. When you finally got a lot of food, you still ain't got time to study because you gotta move around and try to find places to stay or sleep, whether animal or human. You know what I'm saying? Once you got all of that and you find love, now you comfortable. Now you got time to relax and look up and study and digest and reflect. That's the point. So if we never get out of survival mode, we'll never make it. That's why I say it's intentional. So to know this, to know what happens in survival mode, then understand why there's crime, understand why there's a court system, understand why everything in America was designed to keep a functioning demonic system alive. You know what I'm saying? Over and over again. I watch, like, another thing, I sit back and when I look at rap, it's like, yo, that's what I say, people be fronting on me like, I get it. Like, people be like, bro, y'all niggas don't know. Like, listen, every 24-year-old, the 15-year-old I had a conversation with, which was thousands of them the last year or so, they be like, bro, you dope. You can rap your ass off. I'll be like, yo, I appreciate it. They be like, I'll be like, yo, I get it though. And they be like, bro, you really be rapping and spitting and going hard. But like, you fuck with me when they hear the music. But they'll say like, damn, bro, you rap the way I want to rap. So they clearly want it, but what's out in front of them in radio and shit, and what they hear every day that everybody is responding to, that's why they doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they moving that way. And they under pressure now because this is not fair. You can't, artists don't have no outlet no more. I gotta go kill something to get you to look at me. It's like, what the fuck is happening? Like the world ended already, niggas. Did y'all not pay attention? And then a lot of times I had conversations with a lot of people that be like, ain't nothing changed. It's nothing new under the sun, but the circumstances has changed. And it's controlled by who you put the camera on. The youth always been dying and shit, right? And they own accord, but not like now. And I heard people try to argue this point. You can't. The youth in the hood always was dying in Jersey, New York, Cali, but not like now because the TV 10 years ago decided to put Chief Keef and a bunch of 15, 16-year-olds jumping around with guns in apartments. And on top of that, they got popular off of a murder. And that set the whole trend of this drill shit when it came down to global. So now we got people like Lil Jeff and these other niggas who got 9, 10 bodies walking through. And this who we idolizing? I hope you young niggas pay attention. And I hope that y'all pay attention because y'all way ain't gonna work. All y'all idols, all the people y'all look up to, all of y'all rappers, they dead. They drug addicts. They prison. That's always been my issue. And then we got to the point where now, like I said with the youth, their thing is they said, they said, bro, do you get our music? Yeah, they be like, what is it? I be like, it's to y'all, the youth is looking for niggas who can't rap if y'all don't get it. So all you popular ass rapping niggas who popping, they fuck with you because you ain't really a rapper. It's kind of like the style now was like, you supposed to be a street nigga, right? And street niggas can't really rap because they was outside busting that blick, right? That little, the old school gun. But they was out there shooting that shit off, right? A real street nigga can't rap. You understand? So the industry is looking for a nigga who can't really rap, but he could do something. He could, because you get on a beat, you could kind of help a nigga get some music together with good engineers. But he a real street nigga. So the style is to be a rapper who can't really rap, but you a street nigga though. So it's gonna work right now. And I ain't hating on you. But as far as longevity, this only works if the hip hop doesn't grow. Hip hop is what it says, like 20-something, 30, almost 30 years old now. Or whatever, 20-something years old, 25 years old, somewhere in that space. She a little older, she about 30. Well, she special ass, she a slow ass chick. She slow. She 31. She got the mindset of a 12-year-old. She hoish. She hoish. She trifling. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Her mouth foul. You know what I'm saying? She go both ways. This hip hop. I don't fuck with half of these people, man. I watch y'all. That's why I can't respect a lot of the public. And that's why you got to be in tune with yourself. I will, from now to later, I will never let the public dictate what I'm going to give the public. Not saying that I won't listen to, like, which I think is hot, but you're not going to dictate my art. This shit that's around here today, in 50 years, we won't even remember most of this shit. Some of this shit, yeah, some of this shit fire. But we won't remember half of this shit. We won't remember not a damn thing about half of these songs. You know what I mean? But like I say, but I meet rap niggas who'll argue with you all day. Like, nigga, you can't even rap, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? Go sing that hook for me. But niggas got pride the same way. And so that's why I said, I know I'm jumping. But the point is, when you dealing with people from the youth to siblings, to friends, to peers, and you dealing with them in whatever business manner you dealing with them, let them go. And you let them go because when they leave your environment, your factory, your studio, your basketball team, your football team, whatever, when they leave whatever you do, they think, when people leave, I had to learn this, and you got to forgive them. They'll leave and be like, man, fuck that nigga, fuck Jerry, bro. He think you know it all, bro, arrogant. He think he better than they get all of that. But nature gonna humble you. Life gonna humble you, because I had to realize that I'm the teacher, but I ain't the creator. So that's between you and the maker. And when your time comes, if you real with yourself, when you see that you was wrong, you gonna hit me back. And like I tell my friends, like, remember, when they hit you back, you got one or two choices. You could be humble yourself and understand and build with them. See where they at now. You ain't got to do nothing but let them know. Or you could be like, not even give them no energy. It's your choice. Just like I know a lot of people that you get online like, bro, people don't mess with me, I rap or da-da-da. So when people step up and ready to work, it might, on your time, you might feel like this. But 8-9 years might go past before them people, or for any artist or these people to come work with you. When they finally come to you and say, hey, bro, let's work, let's do something, da-da-da, what you gonna be like? All right. And never call the person? No, bro, when I tried to fuck with him years ago, he didn't know me. He ain't know you. He ain't see you. I had to grow up too. It's certain shit I was right about online, because I really was outside on the corners with the music and the CDs and all in people's face. But I also had to start looking at it realistically. Bruh, they don't know what music in your computer. Damn, it's true. They only know what you put out. Hey, bro, you got to make yourself bigger so that they can see you. You got to do certain things in this shit. Like I said, it ain't no school for this shit. So you're going to learn as you go. You're going to learn as you go, right? But that's why as I sit around and I see shit and I hear shit, I hear a lot of things, and I fuck with a lot of people. And it's like, when I do something, everybody be like, oh, Bray doing shit. That was the energy. Like, he got a little thing doing shit. But when I see other people doing it, and let's say they numbers or certain things it's like where my joints was at, they doing it. So I'm just saying that, remember on the other side that everybody got their pride in how they feel and how they gonna go about things. But I think it's more intimate sometimes. Like outside the morning I figured I'd do some morning combos too, because it's more of an intimate conversation. Now, another thing, because I haven't been live, Facebook, people been hitting me lately like, bro, I'm not getting no notifications that you live. So I have to recreate the momentum again in order for us, like, if you watch me, the way that it's working, what I'm learning is that when you watch a convo or the podcast, if you write in a comment like, hey man, what's up? Good morning. It's gonna keep you in tune with me. So when I go live, because you was interactive with me, right? That's how you do it. It's a I was gonna say it's a slow grind, but you gotta understand how this shit works. So that's everybody I see getting into it. You know what I'm saying? Dibbling, dabbling in radio. Cause remember, I went from the Convo to radio to, you know, a couple weeks up there with Trauma. I want to thank Madam Trauma. You know what I'm saying? It was all an opportunity for me to understand how I'm supposed to bring it. Also getting my formatting together. But while I'm doing all of this, I'm still dealing with the friends, the music, right? And it became super complicated. You know what I mean? It's like sometimes I speak for myself. It got a little heavy for me because I was so willing to give people the shirt off my back to help them get to their goals. And I felt like at times it was like, yeah, niggas just gonna leave a nigga stranded out here. You know what I'm saying? But I won't trip, and I just figured I'd get it out the mud. And we can't do everything everybody want us to do. So sometimes while we doing all of this, it's like, oh, I say this. This is another thing about friends. Let me say it this way. When we dealing with friends, it's like friends don't realize you needed their help. The likes, the shares every day. It's just, then you log in on your computer or when I'm talking and mute it. The little help, but we so fucking selfish, we won't even do the little things. But that's why I said on the song, but let you make $1 million, everybody got their hand out. Just remember all them days when you was riding by yourself and ain't nobody want to help you, so you did it for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's real. And then that's where it was coming from. A lot of the times, like, it's more than that. Like, I'm not against it. So that's why I be so big on, like, yo, for the young artists, rappers, beat makers, producers who still want to be great, who still want to push the culture forward while still being organic. I'm not saying you can't do the street shit, but I feel like the goal, if you a rap nigga, your goal should be to be a great rapper eventually, even if you don't start out that way. It ain't how you start, it's where you end up. You know what I mean? You could be somebody everybody laughed at about album number 4, you got the world. You know what I mean? And I'll say, I was thinking the other day too, because I'll be like looking at a lot of the shows that do reviews. And I started realizing when we be doing music reviews, we don't really pay attention to the comments. So I noticed when I watch a lot of the shows on the music reviews, and they getting better and better, a lot of shit, I noticed like, when we the hosts, right? This is just what I like. When we the hosts are judging, it's hard when we talk about stuff like hit records, it's hard to say we know what a hit is. And the reason why it's hard to say we know what a hit is because it's proven fact that most of the shit that becomes a hit, especially today, is not something that you're going to be in the studio most of the time. Like, that's it right there. Right? History proves this. Often the songs that hit records, most of them are songs that the artist didn't even like. Or they didn't, you know what I'm saying? So when we doing it, we don't mean no harm. But do we really know what a hit is? Because it could be a hit somewhere else. It could be a hit here. It's songs that hit in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut, but have no presence out west. So that's the thing I noticed. So just, I'm meaning it like, you know how everybody, when we'll say, oh, it's straight, but are you reading the comments? They like, oh, it's straight, bro, it's da-da-da, but the comments got fire emojis going down that bitch for like, that's what I'm saying. When we be doing this stuff, a lot of people, are we really interacting with the people? Are we really looking at the comments saying, okay, well, what y'all think? So that's why a lot of times I be quiet, man. Or I sit back while I was quiet because at the end of the day, I never cared. You know what I'm saying? The battle shit, everybody want to do the battle. I still don't, like people ask me recently, like, bro, because at the end of the day, just because I did it, because at the time, after the battle, everybody was like, bro, battle me. Like, nah. Because people asked me recently, bro, why you stop? I only want to go against somebody who y'all think can beat me. Not somebody who popular. Just because you popular, you don't mean you good. It's a lot of popular niggas who really ain't that good. And I wouldn't dare go in the ring with them. It's not even fair. Our music are two different worlds. It's like putting a soccer player and a basketball player against each other. Nigga, you use your feet. We don't kick the ball in basketball. But that's the reason. And then it's a lot of stuff that I call people on, like Coco said, like, Coco was saying that she had noticed that she had a lot of people telling her, like, yo, they wanted that smoke. I'm with the smoke, but it just got to be to somebody who's worth it. You know what I mean? But that's the music world. And that's why I stayed out of the way. Our job ain't that we got to prove nothing to nobody. But the point is, I wish that the people would tell everybody out here that there's a ceiling. I don't care who you fucking with. There's a ceiling. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can really just take you and pop you off, but it is people who can get you to certain points. And the reason why I be so compassionate about what I say, and I know some people might feel some way, is I'm saying when I talk about the hits or I talk about these things, I'm saying that we live in a place who has never broken an artist before. We live in a place that has never really seen their artists be successful. We come from a place where the people who did get opportunity, my man asked me yesterday, so out of everybody out, who out here who's somebody then pull somebody up? Nobody. For the people that do got keys to the doors or could do something, they didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't do it at all. Hold on, y'all. I'm about to go out to the car. Hold on. Let me grab my fizz on. Gotta go out to the car for a second while I'm talking to y'all. Oh. Keep this thing rocking. Hold on. Oh, no, I can't. I'm going to get off of here because I don't want to keep it going because I ain't going to be able to control the main system. But I just want to tap in with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably do an evening combo tonight because I'm about to run. But BH, I can't keep it running. Let's get this shit.